Oh man, I hope you guys absolutely loved that intro. I put a lot of time into that. Anyway, this is it. This is a brand new Shindougo collection coming, or now available I should say, on the Sega Dreamcast, and it brings together all of the best Power Rangers games from many of the different systems. Obviously, slight omissions being N64, that's not here, but we've got loads of other awesome things that create this collection, starting off with pictures, which essentially gives you the rundown of who worked on it and all the different emulators. As well as this, we've also got the soundtrack, or soundtracks. Oh yes, and as well as this, we've also got the adverts. I love these.
This is Zordon calling the Power Rangers. Beware, Rita Repulsa and her evil henchmen are out to destroy all of you in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Super NES. Fight your way through 7 incredible levels of non-stop action. To win, you'll have to morph into a Power Ranger and overcome obstacles. Swim through underground waterways, crawl through dark caverns, even do battle as the mighty Megazord. Let's kick it! Mighty Morphin Power Rangers video game for your Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Now first up, we are taking a look at the Special Squadron on the Sega Master System. Now as you can see, we're taking a look, and there's tons of different systems catered for here. SNES, NES, even a surprise which we'll show at the end. Yes, obviously it's showing the opening themes here, which yes, that is a great big surprise. But there is one other that we'll show a little bit later. But this is it. And this is basically, it's a love letter to Sentai Jetman. So this is it, and I've got to say, the fact that I've never played this does surprise me. Now obviously you start with the Power Ranger select screen, which is great. I obviously always go red. Favourite colour and favourite Ranger. And I've got to say, I actually did quite enjoy this. Yes, it did feel like there was a bit of screen tear here and there, and it did feel that little bit repetitive. But for a Sega Master System game, I actually thought this was pretty darn impressive. Yes, it's pretty much jump and punch, but I really did like this. And the fact you can also get into what I would call the Zordons, but obviously it says Grand Titan here, then yes, I also think is really, really cool. Now next up, we've got Game Boy, and this shows you obviously how to play the game, and then we are straight into the game. Now I have to say this is probably the worst of the collection in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of the Game Boy anyway, but the fact that yes, okay, this emulates very, very well, but I actually think the game is not great at all. It's very boring and very repetitive. Now you're going to see a little bit later on that the Sega Game Gear version is basically the same with colours, or that's how I certainly see it anyway, but it just seems like an endless go forward hit punch. That's really all you're getting here. Now my favourite of all of them is the Sega Genesis ones. Now we're obviously taking a look at the Power Rangers movie game, which is by a long shot the greatest Power Rangers game of them all. This really does stick close to the source material and just feels right. The music's great, the visuals are great, and it just controls absolutely perfectly. Yes, you've got the Red Ranger, Blue Ranger, Pink Ranger, White Rangers even here. They're all here. Like I said, this literally feels like you're in the movie. This one absolutely makes sense. As a beat 'em up, it just feels absolutely right compared to the other ones, with the freedom of movement, the fact again you also get to use Megazords and just everything like that. That to me makes sense. Now see, like I said, the late great White Ranger, Green Ranger, and I believe even Red Ranger at one point is also in this game as well. So that's great to absolutely see. Now see, this is also probably one of the worst games in the collection. I actually really don't like the Super Nintendo version of Power Rangers, although some may say it's probably their favourite. Yes, it emulates not too badly. There's no real huge issues here. It does feel though like some of the audio does start to kind of slow down every now and again. Now the game mechanics to me seem a little bit boring, in the sense that it just doesn't, you've basically got two planes of left and right, so you can jump forward or down I should say, and jump back up again, and then just left and right. Which I guess if you are into that, then maybe you'll absolutely like this. And this obviously does feel obviously a little bit closer to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TV show, because it's based upon the TV show and not the film. But for me, if you want to play a Power Rangers game, this is absolutely not the one to play. Okay, so we're now onto the Game Gear version. Again, splash screen shows you exactly what to do. I also really love the character select screen here. I think that's actually pretty darn cool. But as you can see, very, very similar to the Game Boy version. Yes, it actually moves a lot quicker. Yes, obviously it's in colour. But apart from that, feels very, very similar almost. And for that, I'm going to have to downmark it slightly, and it's not really one that I really like. As you can see, clearly a Genesis fan here. And last by no means least, this is the ROM hack of Streets of Rage with the White Ranger. That wraps up this collection. This is an awesome collection, and one you guys should absolutely check out. As always, like, comment and subscribe. It's Alex signing out.